So in 1993, 33 people were infected with the H virus, which makes it exactly 33 years from this year. Anybody see a correlation? 33 people infected, exactly 33 years to the month? I don't know, but I'm going to research those numbers and see what I come up with. Numbers tell a story.
Consider the attack of hantavirus on the Navajo Nation. The Four Corners area, where plague is also endemic, seems to be a surprisingly hazardous place to live. The Navajo believe that disease occurs when the balance of the universe is disturbed. They have a wonderful word for it, the Hopi word koyaniswatsi, which means life out of balance. And that balance was upset in May of 1993 in the Navajo Nation's Four Corners Reservation when a young man died on his way to his fiancée's funeral. An autopsy showed that both he and his fiancée had died from the same mysterious disease. Now, everyone's first thought was bubonic plague, which is endemic in the American Southwest. But medical detectives soon pinned it to a hantavirus. And this type of virus is named after the Hantan River in Korea, where it is endemic. It's carried in Korea by striped field mice, and it's one of many viruses that cause what we call hemorrhagic fever. And that's fever with severe internal and external bleeding. But the Navajo type of hantavirus was completely unknown, so very appropriately it was called sin nombre virus, which means no name. Of the 22 types of hantavirus that are found around the world, 18 of them are found in the New World, and all of them are associated with rodent vectors. In my backyard in Louisiana, hantavirus is carried by the rice rat, but fortunately for us, bayou hantavirus is relatively rare. The Navajo strain of hantavirus, however, was especially deadly with a 67% mortality rate. Thanks to medical intervention, we've gotten that down to about 35%. And like many New World strains, it causes what we call hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS. It starts with a raging fever, muscle aches, headaches, and a cough like a really bad case of the flu. And some strains can cause severe kidney damage, a condition known as HFRS, hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome. Other strains, like the one that afflicted the Navajo, cause severe lung and respiratory system damage, a condition called HPS, hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. HPS strains of hantavirus are extremely virulent, and in about half of the victims, HPS causes respiratory failure and death. Since 1993, about 20 to 40 cases of HPS are reported in the U.S. every year. Well, the disease spreads in the urine, the dropping, and the saliva of rodents. Yuck. But if you live in a nice clean house like me, you might think, well, I'm off the hook for this one. But surprisingly, mouse urine turns out to be harder to avoid than you might think. Because when it dries, particles of mouse urine are picked up on bits of dust and carried far and wide through the air.
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare or virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about.